This video originally started with me talking about all the Dragon Ball games I played, but I soon found out that wasn't gonna work, so I had to break it up so the editing process isn't a nightmare. Maybe I'll make a part 2, but yeah, this video will be discussing my experience with the Budokai games. Let's begin. Dragon Ball Budokai on the PS2 was pretty much my introduction to the series. I knew very little of Dragon Ball before playing this game actually, but I'm glad this was where I started. I still remember Rock the Dragon being played as its intro. Here, I'll play a bit for you now.
Dragon, dragon, rock the dragon, Dragon Ball, dragon, rock the dragon, come.
Then there was the main story, and it was awesome too. Plus, it wasn't too difficult, at least not that I remember, but there were definitely certain parts that were harder than others. The Raditz minigame was infamous for being difficult, and especially in my case, I lost so many times. The fight against Frieza as Super Saiyan Goku was a bit hard, but it wasn't that bad. Then there was Super Perfect Cell. We don't talk about Super Perfect Cell. That may be it for the main story, but there is still more content to be found, specifically the What If missions. These missions included Vegeta Saiyan Prince, Raging Frieza / the True Ruler, and Aim for Perfect Form / a Cold-Blooded Assassin. These What If stories follow Vegeta, Frieza, and Cell respectively. As if that wasn't obvious. I'll give a brief rundown for all of these stories, but if you are interested in seeing these in their entirety, watch Anime Gamer's video on it. He has all of them. Link in the description. Here you play as Vegeta in the Saiyan Saga. You fight Goku, then Krillin, and finally Gohan, all consecutively. After beating them all, a cutscene plays where Yajirobe tries sneaking up on Vegeta. But Vegeta, of course, notices, and tries to make him his partner. Yeah, you kinda have to suspend disbelief for these stories. Yajirobe rejects, saying he doesn't want to end up like Nappa, which is fair. This gets Vegeta mad to the point he just turns into a Super Saiyan. And that's it. This was definitely a harder mission for me, mostly because you don't get healed up after every fight, so whatever health you lost is health you can't get back. These missions are about Frieza gaining immortality. In Raging Frieza, you fight Gohan, Piccolo, and Vegeta in that order. It's similar to Vegeta's story, but you actually get healed after every fight. Defeating the Saiyan Prince as Final Form Frieza marks the end of the first part of this story. In the True Ruler, Goku shows up, turns Super Saiyan, and then a fight happens. Once you defeat Goku, a cutscene commences where Porunga is summoned and Frieza finally wishes for immortality. It ends with Frieza in his ship heading to Earth so he can destroy it. I told you had to suspend disbelief, but even as a kid I thought this was silly.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
Frieza winning? Impossible. And another thing, Frieza can't speak Namekian. So he can't wish for anything cause Porunga doesn't understand him. But it's a what if story, so what are you gonna do? These what if missions are about Cell becoming, well, what do you think? It starts with 16 trying to protect 17, but of course he loses and Cell immediately goes to 17 to suck him. Cell is now semi-perfect and tries to rush 18 to absorb her as well. Krillin tries to step in, but you know what happens. This isn't the end of Krillin though, because he actually saves 18 before Cell can get to her. The result is Krillin being absorbed and leading to this abomination. This marks the beginning of a Cold-Blooded Assassin, where you now have to fight Yamcha. After defeating him, you get treated to a cutscene where Tien charges a Tri-Beam and presumably kills Cell. Except he doesn't, because it turns out it was all a dream. All these what if stories are goofy, as expected, but I think I like the Cell one the most. not because of cell-absorbing Krillin, but because of this. Alright, let's see, what do I have left? Oh yeah, the costumes. I actually don't have much to say about the costumes because I didn't use them much. But I love Goku's jacket. That was cool. Alright, let's introduce the next game. Wait, this isn't Dragon Ball Budokai 2? Yes, I know. That's because I never played Budokai 2. And you know what? I technically didn't play Budokai Tenkaichi 2 either. That's because something was wrong with the game that didn't allow you to progress past the first mission of the story. So that was a thing. On to the next one, I guess. Back to a game I actually played, Dragon Ball Budokai 3. This was perfect. Out of these 3 Dragon Ball games, this one was the one I played the most, and for good reason. There were a lot of characters, the transformations were cool, many alternate costumes, making my brother mad whenever I used Fusion, Frieza's spaceship, Majin Vegeta, or just beating him in a straight beam clash. Good times. The story, or Dragon Universe, actually has 11 characters that have their individual story. Even Broly has one. But he does kill Chi-Chi. Honestly doing the world a favor. Let's move on to the transformations, cause I really wanted to talk about that, specifically Super Saiyan 4. You see, it's been years since I played this game, and I wanted to freshen up on a few things, one of them being on how to unlock Super Saiyan 4 for both Goku and Vegeta. I didn't have easy access to YouTube back then, so I was left wondering how to get it. That's when I remembered Launch's shop. I knew I could get transformations from there, so I kept visiting her shop and backing out to see if Super Saiyan 4 will appear. And it did. I got Vegeta first, then after a few attempts I got Goku, so all was good. But when I looked on YouTube to see if people did it the way I did, I saw them unlocking it by doing Goku and Vegeta's Dragon Universe. This could be some Mandela effect thing, but that's how I remembered things. Last thing I wanted to mention was the Dragon Arena. Here you can play as a character and level them up to become stronger after every character you defeat. This was funny because when me and my brother would play, we'd establish Goku was his character and Vegeta was mine. Stupid, I know, but I liked Vegeta more at that time, so it was no biggie. But there was one character I could not beat, that being Omega Shenron. Even while using Super Saiyan 4, I wasn't able to beat him. So yeah, fuck Omega. And those are my thoughts on the Budokai series. It may or may not have been as in-depth as you probably wanted it to, but that's what I remember. Anyways, that's all for me. See you later.